All right, the Warrior Cherokee fans and surrounding areas. Now I've been doing podcasts. It's a Wednesday podcast where I do multiple podcasts. We've been doing football earlier. Now we're going to switch it over to volleyball. And on the screen, I have the head coach for the Cherokees, TM Cherokees, and that's Coach Shelby Chapa. Coach, how you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing great. We're getting back in school, getting back in our routine. So we're doing
That's
good
right.
here.
That's right. Y'all
Yeah,
back from y'all had a break last week.
we
TM
did.
goes all
We
year. There you
did.
go. So getting back into the routine, that's great, Coach. I've got a few questions for you here. Nothing that we're going to keep you long, but you did have a game last Friday. Let's go to recapping last Friday's game from when we did the podcast last week. So you're playing Veterans Memorial. I didn't know much about them. They are from the Valley, but you guys swept them, I believe, 3-0. What did you
Yes, sir.
see from your team going into that game and how well they played?
Yeah, we really just saw really like our big focus, last week and coming off of the tournament season was really just trying to play consistent volleyball throughout match. So Brownsville Vets, they reached out to me, their coach, and she asked if we could play. And I love playing the Valley, south area south of us, just because their volleyball is just so scrappy. They're really defense driven. So it makes it really hard to score. So I wanted to throw an opponent. That's who we see first round of we see South. So really, we were just really focused on consistency, like maintaining our level of volleyball. Um, you know, limiting errors, making sure that we're terminating on serve receive. And we saw a lot of that. We're continuing to work on chemistry. We kind of switched up the lineup a little bit, so just trying to work through the kinks of that. So it was just another opportunity to do that, to maintain consistency, to face a great opponent who was pretty scrappy defensively. I think the girls they handled that really well.
Yeah, getting the sweet 3-0. Coach, so how's practice going? We never last week we didn't really get into practice. That's where it all starts, getting ready for the game. So, the girls coming back from a break. So how's
Mhm.
practice been this week for you guys?
Practice has been good so far. It's definitely different. We practice at 6 a.m. When we're normally in school, so we're bright and early. We're getting going by 6 a.m. in the morning. So last week it was nice to get to kind of them get some rest. We practiced from 9 to 11. We had some great practices. Really just focused on lots of different things, especially when we see things in matches that we need to work on. I'm really big on serve receive and defense wins matches. So we do a lot of serve receive and out of system stuff. So the girls have been handling that really well, and then throwing in our program practice to really work on that skill specific stuff. So they've been doing a great job. They've been kind of it's kind of getting to it feels like the middle of season. We just started volleyball like 4 weeks ago, but just trying to change up and do throw in different drills, different things to get different looks and keep it fresh and light because it can get a little bit monotonous throughout as we get going and the more we do it. So they've been doing really well. They've been having really great practices, especially trying to come in first thing in the morning. At 6 a.m. It can be a little tough sometimes. They may not be quite awake, but they do a really good job of once we get back in school, back into that routine. So it's been good. We've had a couple great practices, especially like not having a game yesterday, so it feels a little different. We've got a little extra practice this week, but it's been great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw. So Tolosa maybe don't have a game, so they're going to have a little
Yeah.
break here. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming games that Coach has. There's some good ones coming up, and we'll also talk to Coach here and get her thoughts on the non-district, the rest of the non-district, because the district is just around the corner here.
Hmm.
But Coach, I always want to talk about your players. One thing I wanted to do when we started this podcast was really focus on players. We talked a little bit about the seniors and what you have coming. But I'd like for you to kind of pick a player, someone that is going to be back next year, someone that you're seeing that's growing in your system and is getting better every day of practice.
Yeah, that's our outside six rotation player, Bella Garcia. She is just she's a great kid, a great athlete. She was a district MVP last year. She made the ABCA watch list last year. She got that again today. So she's or not today this year. She has a lot of accolades, but the kid works incredibly hard, and her gameplay really shows. So I'm really excited to see her. She'll be my first group here too that I'll have got to coach all 4 years. I came in her freshman year, so it's going to be really fun to get to be with her for her whole four years and get to be with that junior class their whole 4 years. And like I said, she's a great kid. She works hard. She's such a high level athlete who just allows us to coach her and doesn't max out at her highest level. She just is constantly wanting more, and that's something that's such a huge attribute to her at the level that she already plays at, is just continuing to want to be coached and want to be corrected and want to see where she can improve in her game. But she's phenomenal. She's a great kid to watch. She's super fun. She plays 6 rotations for us, and she's a great leader on the court.
Coach, what's her jersey number?
She is number 5.
Number 5. That's good. Well,
Yeah, she.
I would love to go out there and see her. And look, Cherokee
Yeah,
fans, she's coming back one more year with Coach Chapa, right?
yeah,
So it's exciting.
yeah.
I always want to, definitely, we want to talk about the seniors because it's their last year. Obviously, they won't
Mm-hmm.
be here next year, right? But in that mix, I like seeing what the future holds there for TM volleyball. Well, what do we got
Yeah.
coming back next year? What's our future look like? There's always something I want to get out to the community. So that's great. Glad to hear. Bella, you said Garcia, number 5?
Yes, Bella Garcia, number 5.
Five.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely keep an eye on. And every time Coach comes on the podcast, I'm going to ask her to talk about an underclassman, a player that's coming back. She'll pick one and kind of talk a little bit about what they're doing, what their responsibility is, and how she's growing within the system. So we'll be doing that every week that Coach comes on her podcast. Coach, I want to now move on to the next 2 games that you have here before you come back on the podcast. And on Friday, you've got Ingleside. Now, we cover Ingleside and Coach Whittle out there. Like we have a podcast with her. And I think it's going to be a good test for them to be able to play a team like Tuloso Midway, because when you can play a team like that, it makes us better, right? It makes us better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, for sure.
What are you looking for your team? What do you know about Ingleside, and what are you looking for your team? Obviously, we want to get the win there, but what are you looking for your team to be
Mhm.
able to gain more experience and get better at before you hit district?
Yeah, really. I This is our first time our program has played Ingleside. I reached out to coach and wanted to grab a game with her. Again, I just really like to mix the level of volleyball that we play, because the level in district is so different. So I like facing opponents who may not be as strong as us to really see how we handle that. Again, like the real big thing that I talked to the girls about is just maintaining our consistency. How do we maintain our level of play, no matter what the opponent on the other side of the net looks like, whether they're higher level than us, whether they're right at our level, whether they're a lower level than us. How do we maintain that? And then how do I get, it gives kids the opportunity to get in matches, and see them in different situations. I carry a large roster, so different games and different levels allow me to throw different kids in there and see how they're growing, not just in practice, but at that game level. So, hopefully giving different kids the opportunity to get in and contribute in whatever way they can. And then really just working on our consistency throughout. How do we maintain Cherokee volleyball on the level that we have set to play, no matter who the opponent is facing, and then really working to, just keep our composure and really work to play our volleyball, and then no matter who we're facing on the other side of the net.
Yeah, I think this is going to be good for TM too, because like you're saying, obviously it's TM. I think is played higher, tougher competition, obviously,
Mhm.
and it's going to be very interesting for you guys to go
Mhm.
down there. You said you've never played Ingleside before, right?
Yeah, I don't. As far as I know, as I've been coaching here, we may have in a tournament. Not in the 3 years since I've been here. Have we? Maybe previously in the past, we picked up a game in a tournament or something like that. But as far as I know, we.
So it'll be good. It'll be good for the team to see what they're going to do, see how they're going to play. So it's going to be very interesting. That's the next game coming up. That's on Friday, and then Coach, on Tuesday next week, you play Sinton, a team that did beat us in a tournament. So
Mhm.
very interesting to be able to play them back again. What
Yeah.
are you hoping to see this time around? And if you can talk a little bit about the tournament, what did you see? Sinton was able to beat us. What did you see from that Sinton team in that tournament that got the win over us? And what do you want to see from your team going into next week against them again?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always fun when we play Sinton. They're kind of like our rivals who aren't in district. It's always a great, fun, competitive game. This will actually be the 4th time we've played them this season. We played them in the CCIC Spike Fest tournament. We played them. We played them in their tournament to get to that to get to the finals match. And then we played them obviously in the Goliad match. And I think really the biggest thing Sinton just did a great job terminating. It wasn't necessarily our best game of maintaining that consistency that I've talked about. It's really just, you know, making sure in service we're terminating the ball, we're getting out of tough rotations, we're holding our composure. They have a great offense and they have great setters who distribute the ball very well. So really like it's such a fun match because I think we're so evenly matched up that it's just one of those games like the kids show up, the energy is great. And it's one of those things like it's a flip of the coin, like who's gonna take this match. So the girls are pumped and excited for it. It's kind of like it's like the next best game of so against like except playing Cal Allen. So they're on that like Cal Allen rivalry, the fun environment, and we want that going into obviously district play is to have these kind of hyped up games because there's a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of hype behind it. And that can sometimes, that's exactly how it is when we play Cal Allen in district. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of excitement. And it's how do we turn that into getting a win?
Yeah.
Not just talking about it, not just being excited, losing previously to them, coming off of a loss from them, but like, how do we actually manifest that into our gameplay?
Yeah, and you have played them a couple of times, and so just to be on the fair side, right, of things, right? We have beaten them, so it's not like they beat us
Yeah.
once. We have
Yeah.
beaten them
Yeah.
a couple of times. They just got one up
Yes.
on us
Yeah.
here
Yep.
this last time. But it's podcasters love this. Like I love this. I love that
Yeah.
rivalry. When you talked about TM and Cal Allen, I'm like, I got to be there. Like I have to be
Yeah.
there. I have to be there to see
Yeah.
it because I want to be part of it. I think fans in general of any sport, right? When you see that coming,
Mm-hmm.
especially when there's a Tolosa Midway Cal Allen rivalry. Everybody wants to go, right? Everybody wants to be
Yeah.
there on both sides.
Yeah.
So to know that Sinton and TM is kind of something like that, boy, that's
Yeah.
exciting. And both of those games
It is.
are at home. It's at our place there at TM. So come on out.
Yeah.
Everyone there from Tolosa Midway, pack the gym out and let's see a lot of support. Be loud for our Cherokees or Lady Cherokees there as they play these two games. As we want to get those wins, I think our record right now, Coach, is 15-7. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's good. Coach, the other thing I wanted to say, you got a couple more games right before district. So district starts here real soon. You got
Mm-hmm.
Calhoun. We've covered Calhoun when they played us down here in Rockport. They've always had a good program. I don't know what their program is
Mm-hmm.
now. They've always had a good program. Then you got Beeville. Before you start district play in Robstown, what do you want to see from these last four games and these two games in particular before you get into district? What is something that you can tell us that the team, you want to see them get better at these four games before we hit Robstown in district?
Yeah, it's just really competing at high level. Calhoun again is one of those teams we face every year. Both the years that I've been here, we faced them in pro season. So my first year, we lost to them in playoffs. Last year, we beat them in playoffs to advance to the round. We've played them non-district. They're always another fun competitive match. To just really see who we are in situations. How do we play these higher level teams and how do we compete and not just again like that whole not like we're not just talk about it, but how do we actually go and compete? So Cal is always a great program to do that, to have that high level match. Again, environment like Cal Allen, the competitiveness, the kind of rivalry we see them in postseason. So it's just kind of getting a good look at to see like where we are at this early on against a team that we often face in postseason. Where are we? We played them in the Goliad tournament as well. So it's we're coming on our revenge week this week, playing two teams that we lost to in the Goliad tournament. So it's going to be a fun week. The girls, they look forward to that. They look forward to these like high intensity, really competitive matches. So it's really fun to go out there and again to see like can we maintain our composure? Can we work through tough situations? Because obviously we're playing two really competitive, great opponents. So we're going to get in tough situations. How do we handle that? How do we work out of it? Who are the people to step up, when things get tough? Those are the things that we're really looking for, going into this next week and playing these competitive teams. And then, we haven't played Beeville before in non-district play. We played them in a tournament previously, but we haven't played them in non-district play. So again, just throwing in those different levels, really just trying to play that high level, play that mid level, play teams at our level, and really just see who we are and how we compete with those teams and with those programs. And just because this is just really how district is. We have some teams who are at our level. We have, great matchups. We have teams that, aren't at our level. And again, how do we play consistent volleyball throughout that? Like, how do we work to maintain our level of play, and then giving people the opportunity to contribute who maybe don't see as much playing time as others do, so that way we see who they are in different scenarios. So
Yeah,
we're excited coming into these non-district games.
I like that. And these non-district games, the next ones, they're all at home. Ingleside's at TM,
Hmm.
Sinton is
Hmm.
at TM, Calhoun is at TM, Beeville will be
Yeah,
coming TM, and even the first district game. So we've got a
yeah,
lot of home games that
we do.
our
Yeah,
fans can come out there to the gym. Please come on out and really support Cherokee volleyball. Be loud. And maybe it is like that, but if it's not, we can always have standing room, but there's enough room for
yeah,
everybody to come on out
yeah.
and
Let's
cheer
pack
our volleyball
house.
team on. We've got a great team out here at TM and looking to bring a district title this year to Tuloso Midway and make a deep playoff run. Coach,
Mm.
before well, I'll give you the final thought here before we go. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say to the community at Tuloso Midway? Because I appreciate you coming out, being able to talk to you, and
Mhm.
hopefully, a coach. I wanted to ask you also is how can we get some of the players on? Do you think some of your players would be willing to
Yeah.
come on?
Yeah, they would like kind of talk to them about it. They're like, I want to be on, I want to come on. I'm like, y'all say that now, and then you're gonna get here and you're gonna be all shy. But they're excited to come on. They definitely, I have a few kids who would love to come and be a part, and I would love to have them with me on a Wednesday. That would be super fun and awesome, to
Okay.
get to hear, from their perspective, and how they feel the season's going, and all the fun things that happen here in our program.
Absolutely. We love to give them a platform to be able to talk to the community at Tuloso Midway and then get them to
Yeah.
know our kids. I think is one thing that I want to do for this podcast. So you think every Wednesday at 4 o'clock you could bring one of them on?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. They're
Uh,
here. We'll do it.
I'll let you pick whoever you want next week. Just kind of text me, let me know so I can post it
Yeah.
up and let everybody know what's going on. And I'll give you the final thought here before I let you go. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, we have a ton of home games going coming up. We're going to be out in the community. We're going to, open doors at the intermediate. We're going to open doors at the primary. Our whole program has gone out to the past couple middle school games. So if you see our girls out, tell them hi, tell me something, you catch them doing something good. I want to hear about those things. A lot of times we're really tough on them, and they do a ton of great things that we don't always see. We don't catch them out in the community a lot. So tell them hi, brag on them, tell me something good that happens to them. Come watch some great volleyball. Next week is going to be a jam-packed week playing Sinton and Calhoun here. So there are going to be some fun matches. And then Ingleside, there's football plays tomorrow. So what better to do than on a free Friday, come watch some great volleyball. So we've got tons of opportunities to catch a lot of great matches. So
That's true because Tuloso Midway plays Thursday instead of
yeah,
Friday, right? I just had a
yeah.
podcast with Coach Viriel, and he said, "Hey, we're going on Thursday, so we're going to be the only show in town possibly. So everyone come out and check us out. Now we could do the same thing for Tuloso Midway.
Yeah.
No games, so all TM Cherokee fans can come out and cheer them on. But Coach, I'm going to ask you when you bring your player on, just so you know, just say something about them. I know a lot of coaches. I know I like to know if they're doing anything great in the classroom, whatever,
Mhm.
volunteer. I always like for the coach when the players there to be able to talk about their player, what are they doing? Because we don't know them, right? So the more you
Mhm.
can tell us about them, what they do in the classroom, what they do, the leadership that they have. Not only is it about what they do on the volleyball court, but also what do they do off of there? Are they doing things around the community? I think is always
Mhm.
important to be
For
able
sure.
to shine light on those kids that come on and whatever they're doing. So, Coach, so you're hearing it here, Warrior Cherokee, Lady Cherokee fans. We're going to have a player starting next week here joining us here on the Shelby Chapa weekly podcast. So not only will Coach be talking about her program, her players recapping and previewing, but now we're going to add a player, a Lady Cherokee will be coming on of Coach's choice, and we'll be asking her. And Coach, I promise we're not going to ask them a lot of questions because they're kind of, I know they get kind of like, what's he going to ask? It's harmless. We'll ask them. It'll be easy and just a few
Yeah.
questions just so the community can get to know them. But I'm excited that we're going to have players coming on this show as well on this
Mhm.
podcast. So definitely looking forward to that. Coach, thank you very much for your time. Good luck, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.